What is up everyone and welcome back to the channel. So, Kingdom Hearts 3 is done, unfortunately. I'm really sad about it. I feel like the game, it felt like a lot shorter than a lot of the other Kingdom Hearts games that I've already played, and I was kind of hoping that I was going to be playing this game for a long time. I guess I expected it was going to take me a couple of months to properly get through. So I can't believe that it is done and dusted, but I saw a lot of comments from you asking for this kind of a video where I sit down and I talk about all the things in relation to the game. I managed to finish the game in 28 hours, I think. Now, personally, I felt like I was rushing my first playthrough of this game, mainly because at the time I wasn't reading my comment section. I wasn't really interacting with anyone online. I was very, very scared to even go onto my homepage on YouTube because people were telling me that there was spoilers for like the bosses and things like that. And I really wanted to get there myself and, you know, just have the full experience. I've had far too many games spoiled for me on YouTube. So this one, it meant a lot to me to just kind of go dark and play it for myself. But I did expect that it was going to take me a little bit longer to get through, but I will say that because I really wanted to know about the story, I did kind of rush through a lot of the worlds anyway. I think what surprised me the most though when it came to this was the Kingdom Hearts worlds in Kingdom Hearts 3. They were a lot bigger than any of the previous worlds that we had experienced in previous games. But in the same breath, I felt like a lot of it was very empty. Now, I will specifically say in this video, I will be talking about like story spoilers and, you know, obviously I have finished the game. So if you guys have not finished the game, I would suggest don't watch this video until after you have finished, because I am going to be discussing a lot of different things that maybe you don't want to know about just yet. So let's talk about the worlds first and foremost. Now, there were 6 worlds, main worlds in total, and what would my favorite world be? I think that was a question I got asked quite a lot on Twitter, was what would my favorite world be? Now, my favorite movie out of all of them that were shown in Kingdom Hearts would be between Big Hero 6 and Tangled. But I think Tangled probably wins in that respect, and I really liked the fact that Rapunzel got to use her hair as a weapon against the Heartless. I thought that was a pretty like neat thing. But also I did really love Big Hero 6 as well. The it was so good. Unfortunately, the Big Hero 6 world turned out to be the shortest world in the game, so I was a little bit disappointed with that. But I will say, if you have a favorite, that means you have a least favorite. And for me, I was very vocal about it in my Let's Play, but my least favorite world was the Caribbean. I don't know if it was because I hadn't seen that movie. I've obviously seen the first Pirates of the Caribbean, but I hadn't seen the one that one related to. So I was obviously a little bit confused by the story, and I felt like the game, it was really making it that you had to have seen the movie to really appreciate that world. And I feel like maybe they could have changed it up a little bit in some of the worlds for the people that maybe hadn't seen the movies. And one of the criticisms I will have about the worlds was that some of them just felt like I was just watching like the movie itself. And I was like, I don't need all of this. I would have much preferred to have the Tangled world, the Big Hero, well, Big Hero 6 was different, but the Tangled world, the Frozen world was literally, you were just going through the movie. And I felt like a little bit disappointed with that, because it's like, I've recently watched the movies. I don't need to watch them again with like a Donald sitting in the background. Don't get me wrong, that was kind of cool because Donald is everything to me. But I would have liked a different variation, you know? I feel like with Big Hero 6, they based that after the movie, so it was different, it was fresh, and people didn't really know what to expect. And I thought that was a cool touch, you know? But with the other ones, it definitely was just watching the movie all over again. And I don't know, like I guess in a way that did disappoint me. So yeah, the Tangled world is my favorite, and my least favorite was the Pirates of the Caribbean. I want to move on to the the gameplay itself, the different keyblades, the magic and things like that. I was a huge fan of how they did things in Birth by Sleep. Personally, I felt like the gameplay itself was quite childish in a way, and the reason I say that is because I felt like the attractions were a little bit annoying. Let's be honest here. I know a lot of people agree with me on that one, that the attractions, they were super annoying come the end. I mean, sometimes you'd want to go visit your Moogle shop and then suddenly you're like summoning a boat or the magic teacups and things like that, and you're like, no, I literally wanted to speak to a Moogle. Okay. Now, I don't know how many times I got caught out with this, I have no idea, but I did really notice when I started the game and I was at Olympus, and I was just noticing it was constantly prompting me to use attractions, and I was like, I don't want to use attractions, I want to use my magic, I just want to attack them, I just want to spam X, because that's how I play Kingdom Hearts, okay? And it just got to the point where I was like, these attractions are really annoying, and they're kind of taken away from just having a good old solid fight. And I do think the only time I really used attractions was towards the end, especially if I was feeling a little bit underleveled and I needed just a bit of time to replenish my MP so that I could cure at some point. That was the only time that I felt, okay, I'm really happy that we have attractions. Other than that, I feel like they're just trying to advertise Disneyland to me, and I really want to get on like some big pirate ship and do this. While I really, really enjoyed the worlds, let's be honest here, I feel like the worlds are such a huge part of Kingdom Hearts, and having the Disney characters come into it, like for me, the Alice in Wonderland was still one of my favorite worlds overall in like previous games. I did feel, however, in this game, it was like the worlds were filler, and that's not cool, okay? That is not cool. Usually when you have the Disney worlds, it still contributes to the story in some way. And the characters themselves on the Disney side usually integrate into the main Kingdom Hearts story. However, in this one, it kind of felt like the main story was over here, and then the Disney worlds was over here, and then sometimes you get like a slight mix in the middle, but very, very rare. And then when I got towards the end of the game and I finished Big Hero 6, it was like suddenly the story started. And I was like, why have they made me feel that after 20 hours that these first 6 stories over here don't mean anything? Like they were literally just filler, and here is the Kingdom Hearts story. From when you obviously go into the Dark Realm, you go and get Aqua, you come back, and then suddenly you get Ventus, and then you come back again. And it was like, they should have had more of this story. Do you like how they're like over here and over here? They should have had more of this story over here. And don't get me wrong, they had some organization members like chilling out in some of the other worlds and things like that, but it still felt like they were really separate, you know? And I do remember some conversations between like the organization and Donald and Goofy and whatever, but it was like they were still just talking like maybe we might need, you know, like the Frozen girls, and maybe we might need Rapunzel, and it was all just very like maybe, but it was never actually anything whatsoever. So in that respect, it felt, come the end, when the story really started to pick up, it felt like these worlds were filler. And I enjoyed them. I had so much fun. I was like singing along, I was having a good time, but they felt like filler to me. And I want to be able to replay the game and not feel that way, but I don't know. It's just one of those things, you know, where I felt like they should have actually used the Disney worlds more in the main story, but they didn't. It felt like we had the main story, and then it felt like we were just going to some Disney worlds, like, just cause. I don't know. Another question I saw on Twitter in regards to Kingdom Hearts: what was my favorite Keyblade? So come the end, a lot of you didn't really see me use like all the Keyblades. I did tend to stick to my 2 favorites. And you know what? I barely even remember the name of them. The main one that I loved the most was the one that had the horse and carriage as the attraction or the finishing move. And the other one that I found super effective towards the end of the game was actually Winnie the Pooh's one. Now, I did see a lot of comments from people who were like, why is she using this weapon? Like, this weapon is rubbish or whatever. But to me, it really wasn't. Like, I leveled the weapon up and it was super useful. And obviously to fight the organization from a distance was a really good thing for me. So yeah, it definitely had to be those two keyblades for sure. Now, since I finished Kingdom Hearts, I've been doing a little bit of grinding because I came across a super boss that I really want to do a video and beat him up and show him off to you guys, show my skills to you guys. Although, why is there just the one? You know, like the thing with, which one was it? Was it Kingdom Hearts 2? I think it was Kingdom Hearts 2 where you could actually fight the organization members like from quite early on in the game as well. You could go to like the different realms and you could fight the organization members. There was a lot of content in these other games, especially when it came to bosses. You had the super Sephiroth boss, which no, I never beat him, but maybe one day I could try and do that. But in this one, there's one super boss which you find at the Keyblade Graveyard. And I haven't found any others. If there is other super bosses, please let me know. But at this moment in time, I haven't found them. But yeah, I did read some comments from people that were like, that's pretty much the only super boss in the game. And I was like, really? So where's the incentive to do other things after you finish the game in Kingdom Hearts? Because if there's no super bosses, then why do we have these big worlds? And we can't do anything else? I don't know, it's a little bit strange. So yeah, I finished it and I'm gonna do that one super boss, and then you've got a bunch of mini games. You've got the cooking, which I was so bad at. Oh my gosh, I was so bad at cooking. And then you've got the gummy phone. Now, I love the gummy phone. I spent so much time taking photos and like sharing them to my Twitter. Like that was one of my favorite features in the game. Obsessed with mobile phones. So yeah, I love taking the photos. I've played a couple of the actual phone games and they are a lot of fun. I didn't really see the point in them, to be honest, other than they were just a lot of fun. But there was just a lot of features in this game where I'm like, there's a lot of mini games, but I'm not sure why. You know, the thing, I've just finished Dragon Quest XI, and Dragon Quest XI had a lot of mini games and things like that. But they all actually contributed to you being even stronger and then doing like the final boss, you know, because there was like 2 or 3 like major final bosses in Dragon Quest XI. Whereas this one, I feel like, well, why? Like, what's the point? Why do I need to do all these mini things now? Like, there's nothing else left to do. And I guess in that respect, I'm left feeling a little bit underwhelmed. Maybe it's just because I want more, but other than the journey itself, it was like, okay, it's done now. And that's that. And I don't usually get that feeling from an RPG. I usually get that from like an Uncharted or something like that, where it's like, well, that's done and that's all right. But this one has left me wanting more. Give me a reason to grind to level 99 other than just one boss. Does that make sense? Another comment I saw from someone, they asked me, do I feel satisfied by the end of the game? Like, kind of linking up everybody's stories. And I remember saying in my second last episode, actually, oh, I think we're going to get a happy ending. Like, everyone's coming out, you know, of the darkness and all of this. And obviously we got Roxas back, and that meant a lot to me. We got Ventus and Aqua and Terra. And then Xion as well. Don't forget Xion. And then it ended. And I can only really say how I feel about it. I know people have their own theories and things like that. To me, it was definitely a little bit left open to interpretation, but I think Sora died, and I'm not 100% certain if he even got Kairi back. I don't know. I know we saw her sitting there like with her hand on the branch, and then Sora disappeared, but I don't know if that was actually there or not. I don't know. I feel like all of that scene is left open to interpretation, but we obviously, from watching the secret ending, we do know that Sora is now in that The World Ends With You or whatever that game was. I didn't actually play that one. I played Dream Drop Distance, and I know that those characters in that world was in it, but I didn't know anything about that game. So I think I was a little bit miffed in regards to like the black box and things like that, because it showed it right at the start, like Maleficent and Pete were looking for the black box, and then that was that. We heard nothing else about the black box. But now it turns out that there's going to be more Kingdom Hearts, and Xehanort's story is done. I actually felt bad for him in the end. It's amazing how these games do this to me. And I guess now we're going to be moving on to like the black box era, and you've got, is it Union X and things like that? Another thing I just didn't have much to do with. I don't care for mobile games. Like if they brought Union X to PlayStation or anything like that, I'd probably delve into it, but I just don't play mobile games, so I didn't really have too much to do with the Union X side of thing, although now I'm probably going to have to, because, you know, I want to be kept up to date with the story and things like that. So I was a little bit disappointed about the black box being like a setup for the future games, because we have no idea how long we're gonna have to wait for this. They're probably still deciding what the story is now, so yeah, I'll be dead before Kingdom Hearts is finished. So in that respect, I was hoping, I don't know if I was hoping it to be the last game so that we could have like a finished story. I guess I should be excited if it means like more Kingdom Hearts games. I just hope that they're in the form of like Kingdom Hearts 4. You know, and it's not like we're bringing the next game to tablets and stuff like that, because it's like, oh really? Because that would suck, you know. It'd be nice if they're just going to make a solid game, bring it to like the PS4, Xbox, and all of that. So in that respect, you know, we should be thankful, because Kingdom Hearts isn't over. And Xigbar was definitely a shock. I wasn't expecting that. I definitely didn't see that coming. So he's a really badass character. So I'm excited to see where his future goes in regards to the story. So that's kind of my feelings on the end of the game. I wasn't disappointed. I guess I just wanted more, you know. And like in conclusion to Kingdom Hearts 3, I think I am left just wanting a little bit more, you know. But overall, I loved the game. I'm not going to sit here and slate it or whatever. It was such an amazing experience. And to be honest with you, now that it's finished, I don't care to play anything else, because I'm like, So yeah, I'm definitely missing Kingdom Hearts 3. But I'm going to do some grinding for this super boss. And then after that, I don't know what else there is to really do in it, except maybe try it on proud mode, do some streams or whatever. So this is my thoughts anyway. Overall, I loved the game. I would love to know what your thoughts are on Kingdom Hearts. Were there things that kind of bugged you? What did you think about the attractions? What did you think about the actual story itself? And I just want to say thank you so much for all the support that you guys have shown me. January was like the craziest month on my channel, so I don't think I'm going to top that for a very long time, but I enjoyed the ride for as long as it lasted, and yeah, thank you guys so much. It's been amazing. Kingdom Hearts for the win! Woo! Alright, I'm gonna go and try and think of something else to play from now on. So these have been my thoughts, and I hope you guys did enjoy this video. Bye.